Hi. In episode 11, we take on AI Analyst. In the two previous episodes, we built the market intelligence reports, futures and options. Those are deterministic reports. 5 analysis layers compute, the aggregator weighs, and a specific reading comes out. AI Analyst does one thing. It takes that finished report and gives you a second opinion, written in plain language. It doesn't recompute the market. It doesn't tell you what to do. It explains what the report shows, where the layers disagree, and what's easy to miss at a glance. It's powered by Claude from Anthropic. And as the module says right at the top, the decision is always yours. This is an assistant, not an autopilot. Using it is simple, and it takes 2 steps. Step 1, you pick the source. You have 2 options, the futures report, weighted for futures trading, or the options report, weighted for options. Let's start with futures. Step 2, you pick the time horizon. The same one you know from market intelligence, from 15 minutes to a month. I'll pick 4 hours, and I click import. The AI pulls exactly the report you saw in market intelligence. It doesn't guess. It works on the platform's real data. The asset, Bitcoin for example, comes from the top bar. You change it there for the whole system. Before I generate the analysis, what do I actually get from it? One AI answer covers 3 areas in sequence. The first is explain, what the system sees and why, which analysis layers are strongest and which way they pull. An analysis layer is one of the things the system often calls an engine: price structure, indicators, liquidity, options, institutions. So here you get the answer, where this reading came from in the first place. The second is quality, the structure of confidence and consistency, which layers agree and which contradict each other. This is the check on whether the report holds together or whether there's a split underneath. The third is insights, things worth a second look, correlations between layers and signals that are easy to miss on a quick scan. For example, a gamma flip right next to price, or a basis trade warning. 3 questions. Why this? Is it solid? And what to watch for? I click Generate Analysis. And now, one honest thing, this isn't instant. The AI needs a moment, a dozen, sometimes 20-something seconds. That's normal. The model is actually reading the whole report and writing an interpretation, not spitting out a template. What is it doing in that time? It goes through all the analysis layers in the report: price structure, indicators, liquidity, options, institutional positioning. It checks which one won out and why. It compares them against each other, looking for where they agree and where they contradict. And it cross-checks against the higher time horizons, whether the 4-hour reading is backed up on the daily and weekly or stands against them. In other words, it does exactly what an experienced analyst would do if you handed them this report and asked for a second opinion. Just faster, and without skipping anything. And we have a result. Look at how it's built. 3 blocks, one below the other. The first is explain. Here the AI describes in plain language which layer won out and why, with specific levels. It doesn't repeat the verdict. It breaks its logic down into parts. You see where the reading came from. The second is quality. Here, the AI assesses whether the report holds together. It says which layers agree and which contradict, and whether the higher time horizon supports this reading or stands against it. This is the credibility check. The third is insights. Here, the AI catches the things that are easy to miss at a glance. And at the bottom of every analysis, there's a worth noting section. The shortest, bulleted warnings. A fresh breakout, a narrow buffer to the gamma flip, unusual positioning. This is the essence of the second pair of eyes. I won't read it line by line. The point is that you can see you're getting a dense, specific interpretation with levels and caveats, not 3 vague sentences. And the second part, the options report. I switch the source to options. And notice one change. Step 2 now looks different. Instead of a time horizon, you pick an expiry date, a specific expiry from the deribit options list. Because options, as you'll remember from the previous episode, live by dates. Every expiry is a different picture. I pick an expiry, import, generate. And again, the AI needs those dozen or so seconds. It reads the whole options report and writes an interpretation. The principle is identical, the same 3 blocks. But now the AI looks at things specific to options. In explain, it interprets the posture of options dealers, what gamma regime they're in, where the gamma flip sits, which side the skew is on. In other words, whether dealers will dampen moves or amplify them, and what that means for price. In quality, it checks whether the options layers tell a coherent story, whether the gamma regime, the skew, and the positioning agree with each other, or whether there's a split between them. In insights and the worth noting section, it catches what matters most in the options market: how far the gamma flip is from price, where max pain sits, whether volatility is expensive relative to what the market is actually doing. And with the options report, the AI goes a step further. It also takes the strategy configuration from the report and breaks it down into strengths and weaknesses. It shows the scenario in which that structure wins and the one in which it fails. Not as a command to do it, but as an honest breakdown. Here's what would have to happen for it to make sense, and here's where the risk sits. So, 1 module, 2 views, on the futures market and on the options market. Each time, a second opinion on a finished report. Only here, written in the language of options. And that's AI Analyst. It doesn't recompute the market and it doesn't issue commands. It takes a finished market intelligence report, futures or options, and gives you a second opinion. It explains the logic, checks the consistency, and catches what's easy to miss. Also, you make your decision with more awareness, not blind. And what the module repeats from top to bottom, the decision is always yours. There's also a built-in glossary in case a term is new. And the counter at the top shows how many analyses you have left for the day. In the next episode, we take on Strategy Lab, the module where you build and test a strategy before you enter the market. Go to foxal.com, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.